When we're so focused on the future, it robs us of the gift of the present. And if we're constantly chasing for the future, we're chasing for the future. And then once that future arrives, we're not even focused at that moment because we're chasing for the next future and we're chasing for the next future. So when do we actually get to reap the present that we get?
This episode is brought to you by Basic Keto Box. Basic Keto Box is a premium subscription box for Keto Dieters. It offers a wide variety of keto-friendly snacks delivered right to your door. Not only that, with your subscription box, you also get a 30-day meal plan that includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner, complete with macronutrients in every meal. We have an exclusive deal just for Ketones and Coffee podcast listeners. Receive an extra 20% off with your first month subscription. Head on over to basicketobox.ca to subscribe today. Hey guys, welcome to the Ketones and Coffee podcast, where I bring in guests to discuss their own personal experience with a ketogenic diet. Our next guest has been on the keto diet for 10 years. She's a personal trainer, a yoga guru, and a life coach. Her holistic approach has helped many women achieve their highest self by applying movement and mindset into your life. Without further ado, let's welcome in Coach Linda.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you, Lorenz?
I'm good. I'm so happy you agreed to this.
I'm happy you reached out.
I know it, and it's and selfishly because I'm a big fan of mindfulness when I saw your page there.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I know this podcast is about keto, which we will talk about later in the podcast.
Sure.
But I cannot wait to talk about mindfulness. So anyway, before we dive in, if you can introduce yourself for me.
Sure. So my name is Linda. I am a holistic health and wellness coach. I love working with women who are ready to step into their highest, most vibrational selves by releasing old habits that keep them, stuck in where they are and embracing a life filled with joy and where they're able to thrive instead of just survive. I love doing yoga. I've been doing yoga for about 10 years. I've been keto paleo for about the same amount of time.
Wow.
I love running, and I am a spiritual and self-development junkie.
I've probably never met or talked to anyone that has been on the keto diet for 10 years. Just because maybe keto's only been really popular, correct me if I'm wrong, in the past, couple of years, I
Mm-hmm.
would say.
Yeah.
And what has led you to this practice? Are you keto now or paleo?
I'm keto and paleo. So keto is a specific macronutrient, and paleo would be the types of food that you eat. Right now, I would say I'm pretty carnivore for the majority of my choices. So most of the time, I just have some meat, and then I slab on some oil and call it a day.
So I'd like to talk to you about your coaching, and
Mhm.
what would you say your coaching style is when it comes to coaching?
So I take a transformative approach. I take a holistic view at one's life. I am humanistic and I intertwine a little bit of spirituality within my coaching. I work a lot with the mindset
Mm-hmm.
and a bit of the spiritual component to alleviate some of the fears when I work with my clients.
So, what are the common reason why people come to you for coaching?
They want to up level their life. They
Mm-hmm.
want to either get on a diet or, start a fitness regimen, or they feel like they could be happier with their lives, but they're not really embracing their truest, most highest selves for some reason. And usually it's a subconscious thought programming them, and that's weighing them down. And when they're able to release that weight, not only are they able to live the life that they want, but also on a physical level, their body is able to transform by being more nimble, by being more limber, by healing
Mm-hmm.
those autoimmune conditions that they have. And also, a lot of times, they release the weight instead of having to feel like they're grinding and dieting.
So, a big part of that you say is mindset. and I'm following this podcast called Feel Better and Live More
Mm.
podcast. Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, he's the host of the show. He said, you can't really be physically healthy without taking care of your mental well being. And that's so true. You were just talking about it, where you said if you take care of your mind, you naturally lose the weight. And
Mhm.
if you start with the mindset. So, talk to me more about mindfulness and being present. And I know you talked about that in your blog, where you
Mhm.
said, being present, helps you with, your overall well being. So, talk to me about that. I'm really
I
curious.
think when I'm probably butchering the quote, but something it I read somewhere something along the lines of when we're so focused on the future, it robs us of the gift of the present.
I love that.
When we're so focused on the future, it robs us of the gift of the present. I think in every moment there is a gift, but if we're not receiving the gift that we're getting right now, we'll never be able to appreciate it. And if we're constantly chasing for the future, we're chasing for the future, and then once that future arrives, we're not even focused at that moment because we're chasing for the next future, and we're chasing for the next future. So when do we actually get to reap the present that we get? When do we actually get to unwrap it and go, wow, this is beautiful?
I
Because
could
we're
see
always
it.
chasing that moment. So when does that land? When does that land? And it starts to land when you start to practice the now, when you start to practice being more present.
So, I love it. I love it. It's because I practice mindfulness. I probably started being more focused on the present, especially now when pandemic hits and I'm a little bit depressed and what's going on, and
Mm.
just all these negative thoughts that I'm thinking. I stumbled upon this book called Ikigai. I don't know if you've heard of the book
Mm-hmm.
Ikigai, and what it talks about is finding your purpose. And funny enough, that it was mentioned in the book that happiness is found in the present, and staying in the present, enjoying what's going on right now, as opposed to thinking of the future worries or the past experiences, will really rob you of your moment, rob you of this moment where you could be happy. And
Mm.
when I finished reading that book, it really hit me. I started meditating. I was just focusing on the moment, and I feel great. Have you ever come across somebody that keto is not for me, or paleo
Mm-hmm.
is not for me?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, all the time. So in my approach, I'm a life coach. So I don't necessarily focus on one diet. You're going to follow this diet and it's going to work for you.
mhm.
People come to me because whatever they're doing right now is not working. Okay, whether that be diet related or non-diet related. Sometimes it is. And so we discover, okay, what is not working and where do you want to be? Maybe you do want to kick sugar. Maybe you do want to be carnivore. Maybe you do want to be keto. Or maybe that
Mhm.
none of that even like maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to be vegan. Okay? Maybe that's what you want to do. So really, it's a tailored approach to each individual depending on what it is that they desire. Okay. And no one diet, I would say, works for everybody. There are different variations, even within the keto diet. Some people might need even higher fat. Maybe some people need like 85% fat or 90% fat. Maybe some people only need like 60,
Yeah.
right? And we're able to tailor that approach and experiment with what works and what doesn't. So everybody is different depending on where their body is
Mhm.
and what it is that they want. Not everybody wants to be keto, not everybody wants to be paleo.
Yeah. Do people ever come to you and not knowing about the diet, and just they heard about it maybe on the internet, and they said, I want to try this? Do they ever come to you for your knowledge about keto, or do have they done their own research?
I get a mix. The people that I definitely get a lot of people that think keto is a pill, which is
Mm,
really funny.
interesting.
Um, and so they're very new. They're totally new to keto. And then I get some people that they already know what keto is and they've dabbled and experimented with it, but they want to hone that in and understand
Mm.
why it's working or why it's not working, or like maybe they're feeling stuck on, I don't really know what to prepare and I'm getting tired of eating the same things all the time, things like that.
So, if I'm new and I come to you, how do you explain to me the fat consumption when it comes to the keto diet? To me, it was hard for me to get around the fat consumption because I
Mm-hmm.
was wired when I was growing up that you have to have a certain amount of carbs in your
Mm-hmm.
diet. All of my life that I've been programmed like that. What do you tell people?
I tell them that nutritional guidelines, well, the nutritional research are skewed and they have definitely changed since when they were first put out. Like um, the standard American diet is made to make you sad. SAD, standard
Mm-hmm.
American diet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of research to counter a lot of the things that has been put forth, like the fact that carbs are essential, carbs are not essential. So I would, if they're questioning the validity of the keto diet, I would say you need to do your research. I would encourage you to look at these resources, and I'll send them a few resources. Google's app also a good resource if you have questions about keto. And then when they're ready to take that next step, then that's when I would step in.
Interesting. Interesting. That's a huge topic when it comes to the keto diet, is because in the first few weeks when they start the keto diet, they're depleting their resources. They're depleting their energy source, which is carbs, and now their body's transitioning into this new energy source called fat. Um, some people, when they experience the keto flu, per se, that's mostly what stops people uh, to continue on the keto diet. And when you don't do your own research about it, you don't know of it. So you said you've been in the keto diet for 10 years.
So around 8 to 10, yeah.
And what was it like back then? What was it like? Who was your influence, and what's the turning point for you? And was it just wanting to be healthy and do your own research, or was there anything that pushed you to make that decision?
So I was researching the paleo diet before the keto diet, and I stumbled upon a few resources, followed a few people that also did paleo. A few of them were runners, a few of them were into
Mm-hmm.
weight loss, a few of them I just found to be like really fascinating bloggers just because I like their life and they were doing the paleo. So I thought, okay, there seemed to be some validity here about the fact that wheat does contain anti-nutrients. And this was a time when the wheat belly, I think the paleo was the biggest thing. And then I followed someone named Maria Emmerich specifically, and she was more about keto. And so I delved more into the science behind what she had to say. I educated myself through a lot of articles and also books before fully diving in. I also worked with a keto nutritionist before committing to the diet. Originally, I went on it because I knew that my energy and hormone levels were not there was something about it that was off, and this was when I was in high school, I believe. I
Mm.
just felt like I didn't really have so much energy, and I felt really agitated, and it felt like, yeah, I just felt very agitated. I felt very agitated, and I was also having problems with myself hormonally. So when I went on the keto diet, it took a long time. I did go through the keto flu, but it really worked in the end. I was able to heal my hormones. My anxiety was lower than it ever has been before, and it really helped me with my running. At that point, I was in the cross country team, so I remember like bringing sweet potatoes instead of whole wheat bread and having hard boiled eggs and things like that. So that was my journey. That was my journey into keto. I did a lot of research before diving into it.
Wow, that's high school. That's really early on in your life.
It wasn't even popular.
I know. And do you have any family members that disagrees with you when it comes to this diet?
Absolutely. I just do my own thing and I ignore them.
Oh, yeah, I tried. To me, I tried. My father, he's type 2 diabetic. I have, friends in the keto community that, had the same disease, and now they're living a normal life. That's why I'm doing this, is because I want to learn more. I want to be more educated in the keto diet. I want to talk to people like yourself that has that wealth of knowledge, that experience when it comes to this diet. um and thank you for sharing your stories. I really appreciate you coming on.
You're
And
welcome.
where
Thank
can
you for
people find
having
you?
me.
No, no,
Um,
no worries.
so people can find me on Instagram. So it's at the Fitty,
Mhm.
TheFitty. My YouTube channel is the same. It's the Fitty, TheFitty. I also have a blog, thefitty.com, TheFitty.com. If you want to apply to work with me, you can definitely go on my Instagram. The link is in my bio where you can book a discovery call. And if you want to uplevel your life, let go of fear, let go of the old habits right now, I have opened a 6-month coaching program with me in which I take you through the habit reformation method, where you're able to shed some of the old habits that's holding you back and maybe that's keeping you packing on the pounds emotionally and physically. If you want to release that, you can apply to work with me. I have some openings right now, and it's a really great way to get yourself kickstarted before the new year, before January 2021. So that's where you can find me.
Wow, that's awesome. We're gonna have everything in the description below. And thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And have a great weekend. And hopefully we can connect again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lorenz. Have a great night.
Bye bye.
Bye.
This episode has really hit home with me, guys, because mindfulness is what helped me throughout my early adulthood, and it also helped me tremendously when it comes to the keto diet. Thank you for listening all throughout that episode. If you'd like to hear more from us, follow us. And if you're interested in connecting with her, I will link all of her contacts below. Till next time, guys.